Hi, welcome to Her Many Faces. I'm Bethany. Today we're in a different part of the studio. That means we're doing something different. Stay tuned. Awesome. Today I'm going to show you what it's like for me to go through an audition. What I do to get ready. One of the things that I like to do before I do an audition is actually some form of exercise or stretching, getting back into my body so that I'm grounded. I think it's very difficult for myself personally to get in the head of another person or like become a different character if I'm not really comfortable in my own body and don't really know where I'm at. So I'm always looking for ways to ground, center, and really feel okay in my own skin. So today I did take the time, I did a little bit of exercise, did a little bit of stretching, and got back into my body. The next thing that I'm going to do is actually some vocal warm-ups. One of the things that you can do that I like to do are tongue twisters. So something along the lines of unique New York, New York unique, unique New York, New York unique, unique New York, New York unique, unique New York, New York unique. The faster you go, the harder it gets. So it's important that you start slow and gradually work your way up, like red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. That's a very good way for you to get your words all working in your mouth, to start accessing different parts of your face that maybe you haven't been all day because you're not used to talking, because you're not talking to anyone, because you're home alone watching Netflix, you haven't said a word to anyone in days like me. Then maybe this is something that would benefit you if you had to do something like talk to somebody or record your voice. The other thing is getting your face all warmed up. We're trying to loosen like your jaw, trying to access all the muscles, really hear the resonation happen within your sinuses, and get the front and the back of your mouth going. One of the ways that you can do that, they're called vocal rockets, and it's basically starting at a low register and then climbing up a scale with your voice and doing it while you have your lips going. So it looks like this. Another thing that I enjoy doing when I'm not auditioning, just like it helps me get energy, is something called a happy puppy. Clasp your hands together and you kind of, a little sit, and then you kind of shake your butt, back and forth. It's not quite working, but you just gotta give it a little shake, and then you stick your tongue out, a puppy pant. What that does is you're opening up your voice, you're getting your tongue used to moving and stretching. It helps you to do better work because you're already accessing things, so that if there is an instinct to do this sound or an instinct to say it this way, your mouth is ready for what your brain tells it to do. Moving and getting your body moving is getting the energy coursing through your body so that you can have energy in your voice. You don't want to do a dull reading. Okay, now that that's done, we are ready to work. Let's do this. So the audition calls for voices, and it's just a voice audition. They've given us samples to work with, so it's not like an audition where I'm pulling from their work. It's just samples, but I really think I could audition with any type of thing, but we're going to use what they gave us. The 4 vibes that we're looking for my voice are lust, greed, wrath, and envy. So these are just 4 characteristics or 4 styles that we're trying to create with this voiceover. So I'm going to pull from the sample. I think it's more important to start with your own personal voice than building a character, because no matter what, you're always going to be bringing yourself to your work, so you really need to know where you stand. Anytime that I'm recording, I want to make sure that I'm relaxed, my shoulders are relaxed, my jaw is relaxed, even my tongue is relaxed. I want to make sure that my feet are planted, my knees aren't locked, I'm not stressing or straining my body. I just want this to flow out really naturally. Okay, so this is the first read. It's just your natural voice. No acting, no energy on it per se, just a nice little read. The world has changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that once was is lost, for none now live who remember it. One of the things I like to do is I would probably read this about 10, 20 times in my natural voice, just to make sure that I understand the cadence and importance of the words that I want to do. I'd find a different way. I would not do it the same way every time with what importance I place on each word. I would mix it up, mix the timing, and kind of play in a lot of those readings just to feel like I understand the material. That's our one read through in our natural voice. Let's just try one of the other voices. So let's go with wrath. Don't forget to stay loose. The world has changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that once was is lost, for none now live who remember it. Alright, so that's Wrath. I'm gonna give it another try. I'm gonna just throw out whatever we just did and do something completely different. I'm really trying not to like yell or scream with Wrath and kind of just have a feels in my gut that I am showing rather than like telling by just yelling. The world has changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that once was is lost, for none now live who remember it. I think that was a better read through. I really tried to do something different on each line. So let's just move on. We're gonna choose the next script and we're gonna try a different character. Let's go for Lust. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. That was okay. That was okay. I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm gonna do it a different way. Maybe put more energy into it. I feel like even though we're being sultry, we still want to have a lot of energy. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. It was okay. I think I like the first read through better. Let's just move on. We're gonna do Greed, and this time we're gonna use this excerpt and do Greed. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. I kind of just felt like disinterested, so I'm gonna try it again because I don't know if I really got greed, because I want to want more things, and I feel like showing how much I want things, maybe if I put some action on it. I'm gonna grab every time before I say something to add some action and some energy to the lines. Let's try it. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. I don't know if that's the winner. Typically, I would probably listen to it before I decide, give some direction, give myself a little note so that I could do the next one. But I really wanted to film this and show my process, so we're just gonna like skip that part. All right, let's see. Things I am envious of. Okay. Do not go gently into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage. Rage against the dying of the light. I guess in my mind, I think of envy. I'm thinking of like a person that you don't want to leave. A person that you don't want to tell them to stay. You want them to want to stay. You envy their love. You want them to love you. I guess that's kind of where I went. I don't know if it came out. All right, so those are the 4 different types. I did some excerpts. I'm gonna listen to them, cut them together, send some off. I think I'm most likely going to go with my natural voice and Lust. I'm just gonna send 2 clips to them and let them figure it out for themselves. So thank you so much for joining me for my audition process. I hope you got a little glimpse into what my life is like and some of the thoughts I have when I'm processing and putting out work. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one. Good night.